Look at that. Been a while. So, so I had my I got a new hip like a month and a half ago. I'm kind of waiting for the bionics to kick in, but I'm getting around pretty good. So, and it's a beautiful day. So I thought I'd shoot a video. And over the last 6 months, I've come to make some command decisions, and one of them is I'm going back to my old ways. Right? I'm not. I just don't fit into this civilization at all. Period. Right? So I'm going back to my old ways, the way I used to do things from like since I was a kid. Right? I've always been pretty feral, but I did give civilization a good go. Being civilized didn't work out too well for me. So, one of the deals I picked up 14-foot crow TP lodge. So that's coming up. I'll be living in that from probably here on until I die. Right? I missed my old one when I went to become civilized, right? And the next thing is like when I went to Alaska, after a year in Alaska, I sold my 50 caliber flintlock, right, and all the accoutrements that go with it. It's just not too smart to carry a 50 caliber flintlock in grizzly country, and it's really damp. I mean, flintlock, you can keep flintlock operating pretty good in damp weather, but the chances of a misfire or something like that increase, right? So I sold it. So I picked up a Northwest trade gun. This is a 20 gauge or 62 caliber, right? And it's very, very similar to one I carried, took a lot of game with in the 90s. It even has this here. Now I don't think this is broken stock, but it may have been. But I did break my stock on my old trade gun, and I had to pin it and rawhide it around there. So this kind of reminded me of my own. This was better made. This is a better made trade gun than my old one. But I'm a fan of smooth bores, whether they're modern or antique, right? And I took a heck of a lot of game with in the 80s with brown bess musket, which is a 75 caliber 11 gauge, right? Lots of game, kept me fed pretty good. So I'm gonna do some videos on recreating, building up what I need to feed this bugger and carry on with it. And so we'll show you all those. And I've decided too that well, since like one of my favorite things was like to make tracks. I love making tracks. In the late 18th century, early 19th century, with gear, right? So I'm going back to that too. So when I sold my flintlock and everything up in Alaska, I still kept all my clothes and some of my gear. So I still got that. Hence the thumbnail, right? So the thumbnail was back in, I think it was like March of '82, up in the mountains in Idaho, right? A friend of mine and I, we used to trek together a fair bit. Then he went and got famous, right? A guy named Mark Baker, right? And he became a celebrity. Yeah. Anyway, since the travois, right, and the hawk block, right, working on getting back those skills, and I haven't fired this this fella yet, but it's going to be happening pretty soon. I already went to work on this one, so you see that I've already crowned the muzzle. Make it easier for loading. Heck of a lot easier for loading. And then I coned the, see that? There we go. Coned the flat touch hole. Right now, this touch hole is a little bit forward of where I'd like it to be. It should be right in the middle of the pan, but the height is good, so it should touch off pretty dang good. If it doesn't, then I'll have it re-drilled and put it center, but I think it's gonna go just fine. Right, this is a dandy. Love this gun already. I haven't even shot it yet. From making tracks, I've decided I'm going to, because I'm in North Dakota, and North Dakota has like two things going for it. It has like Lewis and Clark Expedition with the Corps of Discovery, and Lawrence Welk. Yeah, I'm not a Lawrence Welk fan, so I'm going to, bloody hell. See that? This is like, and it's never quiet here. I cannot stand this freaking city, towns, whatever. So I'm gonna wait here for a second until they go away. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so from June 1st to, I think it's the 17th, I'm gonna recreate the Corps of Discovery's journey up the Missouri River from just north of Fort Mandan and the Knife River villages, up to just past the mouth of the Yellowstone River, to Fort Union, where they're going to have a rendezvous in mid-June, and so I'm going to try to make that, and I can catch a ride back to Moynot with the fellow that's going to there. So it took Corps of Discovery 19 days to do that part right there. I'm allowing myself 14 days to get to Fort Union, and then 3-4 days at the rendezvous, and then come on back. So yeah, I miss doing that. I really miss doing that. I've taken some big long ones before, and this is kind of stepping back in time. Living a good life, free and easy. That's the way I used to live, right? So yeah, so we'll keep you posted, and yeah, we'll talk to you later, mate. I better make a PS there. I always forget stuff, and have to add on to things, right? So yeah, I'm gonna show a picture of the dog. That's actually in the thumbnail too. How I used to travel by travois a lot, actually. Travel horseback and travois canoe. Lots and lots of miles, primitive, in those three ways, and walking too. But I prefer going with a horseback canoe or dog travois. So in the first dog travois trip I took was like 1980, and I had 2 dogs and 2 travois, and I made a 55-mile trek up from Carlsbad, New Mexico, up into the Guadalupe Mountains, right? And that went pretty good, except for when one of the dogs took off after a rabbit and broke my water gourd. Fortunately, there was some stock tanks in between here and there, so I was able to stay hydrated enough to get up to the site where I was headed for. And Mimi's a little bit too small for a travois. So that travois right there is for me, right? So I used it when I packed in on the winter camp in February, like the week before I got my hip done, and but they were great. I love traveling with dogs and travois. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. Right? I haven't tried horse travois, but someday that might have to happen. Right? Anyway, there, little PS. Talk to you later.